Moog Muse. It's finally here. If you're anything like me, you've been waiting a while for this synth to come out, and it has. I just got mine this week, just getting into it. I can tell you so far, I'm very impressed with it. I like the sound, the feel, the build quality, the looks, everything about it. Very satisfied. So, this will be my first video. There'll be more after this. So I'm just going to cover a few things. I made some patches. I'm going to go into that, show you the patches I made, tell you a little bit about what went into those patches. If you have some questions that you'd like answered about the Muse, put them in the comments and I'll try to include that in the next video. So, first patch, it's called Clouds Above. It's just the kind of patch I like to make. This is what it sounds like. Save a Prayer, the classic from Duran Duran. This is utilizing the split feature. So I've got this side of the keyboard playing the sequenced bass line or arpeggiated line, and the right side playing the lead. So you can do that with the split feature, which is nice, especially could come in handy if you're doing any live performances with it. It's also nice at home in the studio, just messing around. You can get something go over on the left side here, get something going, and just jam away on the right. You also got the stack feature, which you can stack sounds, go from 8 voice polyphony to 4. But I have a patch later. I'm going to show you how I'm using that. So sequencer is actually pretty cool. You've got, if you hit sequence here, there's the name of the sequence. The sequence isn't automatically saved to the patch. There's a whole bank of sequences, and you can just apply them however you want to, and you can see the sequence there. If I hit play. And it's pretty cool. Okay, this next patch is a split patch, and it's using a unison bass on one side of the keyboard and a lead on the right side. I'm using a diffusion delay on the lead, which you can switch between the two timbres, A or B, or both, just depending on where you want to send the delay or what you want to have affected by the delay. And the bass I'm going to have going through the arpeggiator, and I'm going to use the hold so I can just have that play the bass for me. I don't have to worry about it. I can just jam away. So also you can control the timbre, the different sounds when you're using a split or a stack with this right here, this control A and B. You can see the lights switching on the panel. That lets you know what you're controlling at the time. So A would be the bass, hit the hold button. B would be if I'm trying to make a change to the lead, which is on the right. So here we go. Alright, this next patch is what I call a 3 oscillator subchord. And that's because it's using 3 oscillators. And that's a cool feature on this synth, is that you can use this modulation oscillator as another sound source. And I'm going to show you the difference it makes when you bring it in. It really helps beef up the sound even more so. Also, the overload, which I haven't talked about yet, is really nice. Usually not a big fan of distortion and overdrive on synths. They're okay, sometimes I use them, but it doesn't work out usually for me that well. But that's not the same thing. This is driving the filter in a much more pleasant way, a more usable way. You don't always want to use it because you don't always need that sound, but it just seems very usable, and I really like this feature. So this is the chord, the sound, not the chord. Big volume drop. Part of that is because the oscillators are probably not completely at the top of their range, because that would be too much with the overload. But here's the difference. Here's the mod oscillator coming in. And then here's the overload. Take the mod oscillator out, leave the overload in. Bring the mod oscillator in now, slowly. Okay, moving right along. The next patch is called Dark Saws. This is the kind of patch I love. Just dark, moody. Sounds great on an analog poly synth, and it's always nice to test synths out to see if they do a good job of making these kind of patches. So here's Dark Saws on the Muse. Okay, this next patch is called Stacked High and Low. This is a patch I made to utilize the stack feature. So I'm going to show you the timbre A and then timbre B, and then show you them together. So right now stack is not engaged, so timbre A is this. Nice, fills out the low mid-range. Then timbre B. So that's utilizing the high pass cutoff right here, high pass filter. Once again, this was timbre A. Stack them. You get them combined, so you have 4 voice polyphony. You have to keep that in mind, but you get to combine. Okay, this next patch is called City Keys. This is a patch I made because I like patches that have that nice analog key sound where you can play chords and they're kind of pretty, but they still have that analog warmth from a synthesizer. So that's what this sounds like. It's pretty basic. I have a little bit of delay going on just to give it a little extra sparkle, but that's it. Okay, this patch is called Silkiness Thing 2. This is actually a patch I edited from a patch that came with the Muse. It was called Silkiness Thing. So I thought it fit in well with the series of patches I was presenting here, and I liked it, so I threw it into the mix here. It's got the diffusion delay on, so you can hear that really well in this patch, and this is what it sounds like. So if you've been around synthesizers for a while, you probably remember how it seems like every other synth had a jump patch. So just for fun, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to close things out with a jump patch. So here we go. Sold 1,000 units. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be back with more videos. And if you have any ideas for videos, hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching. Till next time, see ya.